before we even get started, Artrece, I'm really happy to interview you. I have some questions that I want to bounce by you, but I feel really good in this moment for you. But let me get the interview started, and then we'll talk about all of that.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Koku with blackfilm.com, and I'm here with Artrece Johnson. She is star of the hit Peacock series Fight Night: The Million Dollar Heist, which is streaming right now on Peacock, with the season finale airing on October 10th. Artrece, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me and wanting to speak with me. I am happy to be here.
Girl, bye. Like, listen. so the reason you're in New York, aren't you? No?
No, I used to live in New York. I live in LA now.
Oh, you live in LA now. Oh, okay.
Where are you?
I'm in New York.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Are you what part?
Well, right now, I'm gonna air this out, but
you like, well, I'm in a couple boroughs.
No, I literally am. So I divide my time between Harlem, Jamaica, Queens, and Bed-Stuy, which sounds crazy.
It's a bit much.
Well, let me tell you. Okay, so my other job, of my 38 jobs, well, first of all, I saw the Niger flag in your bio. Are you Nigerian?
I was about to say, are you Jamaican? Not
They're like, I'm sure she can relate.
I really can.
So I'm East African, so I'm always doing something. So one of my one of my gigs is working in wine and spirits, which literally has me all over Brooklyn, Queens, Harlem, the Bronx, even, right? I even get all the way up to the Bronx. I go way upstate there, right? So
yeah.
Where were you living in New York?
I lived in Brooklyn. I lived in Queens for just a little bit, but most of my time was in Brooklyn.
Most of your time was Brooklyn? No, Brooklyn is great, isn't it?
It's so culture rich.
It is. Now I'll tell you something. Because of the type of work that I do, I have gotten to know New York City, and especially even going in as far east as even Long Island a little bit better. And I do realize that there are pockets of Queens that would also really, really appeal to the Brooklynite. Like a person can tell me at this point, it's almost like if you walk into Sephora rather, and somebody says, what kind of fragrances are you into? You're like, well, I like stuff that's fruity, or I like woody, and they can tell you what you like. I'm at the point now in my New York culture and understanding that I can say, oh, this is a Bronx girl, this is a Brooklyn girl, this is a Queens, and I can tell you the neighborhood that would match the person. Wow. Now, listen, let's talk about Artrece though. So this is really wonderful. Like I said, I'm so happy to talk to you. Now, I did speak to Will Packer already. Great guy, right?
He's amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. If you got really good energy from him, that is the energy that he is. So it's like when you meet him, it already feels like you know him. That's how he's very welcoming.
Yeah. I definitely got that sense. And what's so important in this is that I want to talk a little bit more about your walk. And I know that at some particular point when you even booked this role, you were working at the Trader Joe's.
How do you know my business?
Listen. Okay, I know who I was talking to. I was like, oh, I like this girl. Okay. She it's what we have to do, right? Mm-hmm. So you were trying. Then I hear you were working at the Trader Joe's. You were dropped by your agents. You were kind of really, and had some family, things that had went on in your family, but you were at a particular low, and then this happened. So I just want to know, where were you at in that moment from, just sort of at that place where you kind of felt like, maybe should I even be doing this? And then you get this role of a lifetime, really, I don't even know. Who knows? I should have even asked Will, like, how many people you even beat out? Do you even know?
Well, it's funny. I threw a monologue event the other day, and one of my friends, he came up to me. He used to be in the industry, and he told me, he was just like, I forgot to tell you that you beat out so many names.
like names, right?
Really? And he was like, yeah. I was like, it always goes back to me to God, because with all that was going on in that time, I was at peace. I would immediately get annoyed with the situation because I'm human, but I would immediately shut it down and result to peace, because I just was like, it comes a point when it's just like, well, what can you do?
Yeah.
If you cannot do nothing, then there's no point of stressing over nothing. And God has always had me. What has happened in my life. It could be the worst of times. The sunshine always comes after the storm. So I just was like, whatever,
Right. Yeah, so you weren't in a place of giving up. You were in a place of resolve, like understanding where you were and just, yeah, knowing that you just needed to.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
then also with the acting, it's a long journey.
Yeah.
It takes a long time, and that's any business to
Yeah.
succeed at anything. It's a lot of long hours. There's a lot of investment that you don't see return on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so used to it that
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, all right, now I gotta find new reps. Now I gotta
Mm-hmm.
do this. Now, you know what I'm saying? So I just was like, okay, well, I'll reposition and figure out what I need to do to get to the next point of my whatever this is, and what I was going to do, because when I tell you I was exhausted, you want to talk about 38 jobs?
Mm.
I and looking back now, I'm like, I don't know how I was really even living,
Yeah.
because I was running on 4 hours of sleep. I'd wake
Mm.
up, go to Trader Joe's, have to be there at 5 or 6 a.m., work that until 1 or 2 p.m., get off, do 3 people's heads, turn in auditions, turn in so yeah. And then I think I would be done by 11, go to sleep and do it again.
Yeah. And you
I
never
don't
gave up.
I don't know how I did that. And when the audition came in, it just so happened. That's why I say, like, God is so present
Mm-hmm.
if you allow him, because he sets things up so, like, it's so detailed, such a detailed planner. Like, when I got the audition, I just happened to not be at work that day. I just
Wow.
have nothing to do. It even, like, I don't tell people, but like, I even will go as far as saying, like, he set my mindset up, because
Yeah.
I received the audition 3 hours before I had to do it.
This is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
was 3 pages long. I wear glasses, so I can't hold the paper. I gotta memorize it, break it down, do my makeup, do my hair, find an outfit,
Mm-hmm.
be off book. And so at the time when I got the audition, I was actually watching a documentary about David Beckham.
Hmm.
And it was such an inspiring documentary. And so I was just watching it, and I was like, oh my God, I know I can do this. I can do this, God. I just need the opportunity. And then, I'm going to do it. And that's what I said. Now, mind
Mm.
you, I told you, as soon as like something bad goes wrong, I immediately panic. So I get the audition. And I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to do this audition. I'm going to study all weekend. And I said, wait a minute. In 3 hours?
Right, like, right. Exactly. That's crazy.
I was like, ah. I was like, how am I going to do this? I don't know how I'm going to do this. I can't, And well, actually, I never said I can't.
Okay.
I did say, I don't know how I'm going to get all
Mm.
of this done.
That's fair.
For the audition.
Mm-hmm.
Because my mother is very big on like your words and
Mm-hmm.
being careful about what you say. So I try to watch it, but
Mm-hmm.
I did cry out, like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this,
Mm.
And so I settled down, I memorized, and I was just like, I actually didn't think I was going to book it. I was just trying to do my best work.
Right, right.
I had never been in front of the casting director before.
Okay, so you were just unfamiliar with, you're just jumping
Yeah.
right into it. Mm-hmm.
I just also was just like a guest star recurring. They're not gonna pick me. Child,
You know what's funny though, when you're and it's not even that you're necessarily being dismissive, but almost like not expecting. So it's almost like there's a boldness in that though. So
yeah,
I'm sure, right. So you probably had a
like,
little bit, right, exactly. You probably had a little bit more audacity than others who almost I'm sure because of the role and the fact that you're playing opposite Kevin Hart. I am sure there are some names that both of us are going to recognize that wanted that role just as badly as you did. And they probably thought that they were really up for it. And you're just kind of like, well, and then,
I was like, child, they're going to pick some name actor like they always do.
Right.
I'm going to do my best work so Leah can keep calling me in. And that was my motto.
Mm-hmm.
And, the audacity, like, is such a huge thing. Sometimes when you're ignorant to things, you have more audacity. It's such a beautiful,
it's
like,
true.
there's a beauty in ignorance,
Yeah, no, there is.
because
it's like a beauty, there's the audacity, and compared with almost like an innocence.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because that same audacity I took on to set.
Yeah.
Like one day I was on set and I was just like, I'm gonna ask the director if I can shadow him.
Oh, nice.
I didn't even know it was this big deal thing that people, I just was like, I want to be on set more and I want to see what y'all are doing. So I'm going to shadow the director. The friends that I made on set was like, you got to shadow the director? And I was like, yeah, is it a big thing? And they were like, girl, that's major. I'm like, I guess.
No, I think that endears you to people. Like I love, I love that energy. I think people, they love it because it's like you're not all, oh my God, it's authentic.
And, closed mouths don't get fed. And
that's right.
And in this life, as we know, we only get one.
That's right.
So you should go after everything. You really should. You want to try, you should really try it. Because who knows? None of us do.
None of us do. So the other thing that that Will said was, he said that they had pretty much a list of people. So they had their A-listers, like they were kind of shooting for the stars of people that they wanted to be in this production, as the Kevin Harts, Taraji's in it, Don Cheadle, Samuel Jackson. These were them, Terrence Howard. This is like the people that they really wanted in it. And he said that luckily for them, every single person that they really, really wanted was willing to contribute and be on the set. But the one thing he did say that I thought was very powerful was that it was very important for him to look out for the next generation and the new talent. So that would include people like yourself. He said, Sinqua Walls, right? All of these people who are great actors that don't have the resume that they do, but that are definitely up to par and that are next up. So when you think about the fact that, there are people that were pulled in because it's like, can you please be here? Then there's someone like yourself that busted your bleep in the audition. And you think about that assignment that you took on because you deserved it. How do you feel right now in this role and seeing how big this movie is and just seeing that, when you look at it like, wow, they took a chance on me, but they didn't just take a chance on you. You are playing a really, really important role here. And you are opposite Kevin Hart. What the heck does Artrece say to herself?
Girl, when I tell you some days, I don't even really know what to think of it.
Right.
Some days I'm really like, I can just be washing dishes and I'm like, dang, I don't know how I just lived the last 6 months of my life. I literally don't know. I am so grateful because, again, I think there's such a beauty. I think Tyler James, there is a clip about him going around about like just enjoying the journey.
Okay.
And I think I finally have figured out what that really means. It allows me to not stress so much about the career because I didn't plan to book this role. I just was like, I'm going to do my best job. When I got on set, I'm just going to do my best job. I don't have this magnificent, way of doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? And to be, I didn't know how big this show was going to be.
Who knew, right?
Yeah. I didn't know how many stars were attached. I only knew about Kevin.
Okay. You're like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah. And then to get on set and to see the size of my role.
Yeah.
And then the people, the producers, and them to be happy about the product that I'm giving them. I just was like, I was grateful, so for the show to now come out and everybody loves it. I'm just like, wow, it's just so many. I told my friend, I was just like, there's so many unknown blessings that have come with this that I didn't know. I didn't expect anything really. I just was like, yeah, I'm just grateful to have a job, like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but I'm just happy to be here and have a job. So for this to turn into this huge thing, it is. Yes, there. I have so much gratitude for everything, especially with coming from where I come from and the background that I have and everything that I've been through. It's amazing to see this whole thing unfold.
Yeah.
You know?
Where are you originally from?
I'm originally born in Louisiana.
Okay.
I'm a Creole girl.
She's a Creole. So where's your accent? Did you lose it?
You know what?
When you go home.
I've lived so many places. Yes. So if I'm talking to somebody who's from the South,
okay, sure,
I will pick up, a Southern accent because I was raised in Atlanta.
Oh,
but
okay, okay.
Yeah, but I lived in New York, and then my mother's Nigerian, and my mother doesn't really like accents like that. So, I get it. It comes in and out.
That's funny.
Yeah, and then somehow I kind of sound New York sometimes.
Well, you were in New York, so it's hard, you spend enough time in a place, you start picking stuff up.
Yeah, I try to tell people, they're like, "Where's that accent from?" I'm like,
have you been hearing Eve in interviews lately? Like she done picked up some of that London town stuff.
That's what I try to tell
see.
people. If you're in a place for a while, you are gonna sound like them. It's just inevitable. It's an adaptation. So my accent is everywhere. But thankfully, I can tap into all of them.
But that's exactly that culture and the different experiences you've had. That actually is an advantage, especially as an actress. Now these knives back here, and you got the Niger background, and you was living in the South. What are we doing in the kitchen? Because we are actually in the kitchen. So what's happening?
Tell you something, because
don't disappoint. Be real. Oh God. Oh Lord, what's your about?
I am a cooker. When I tell you, my friends could not wait for me to come back.
Oh, good. Okay, good. I was scared. Okay, good.
My one friend, she's like, "When are you gonna make me rice and stew?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's literally 4 ingredients. I could teach you." She goes, "No. I'll just wait to cook." And then I had a watch party recently.
Oh, nice. One of
my episodes, and I made them Nigerian stews. Yeah.
Are you a good cook? Can you make like egusi soup and everything too? You can make all.
So now I don't be making egusi.
Okay. I had to ask.
But I could. It's just that with African food, it's like such a large quantity.
That's right.
It's like the stew is like something that I could eat on for a few days and give out. Yeah. The egusi, it's because, girl, it's just me.
I'm the same, exactly. So it's like, who am I cooking for?
Who am I going to get?
Exactly. And then I started doing that and started giving away food to neighbors on that. But then when you start that, then all of a sudden, like, listen, this is not
for me.
Right. No, this is my kitchen, not y'all's. Right. At this point, I should be charging for plates. That's the 39th job.
Look, I was just about to say I might start me a little website.
I'm just saying. Listen, it's not to be overlooked. So how about your Southern cuisine? Are you the person that can? This is a very important question. That can bring the mac? Can you bring the mac and cheese?
I can actually bring every dish. For a few years, I be cooking. I don't know. You know what's so funny? I hated cooking as a child. Yeah, but now I'm like, I do think it's an art to it. So that's why I like it now. Mm-hmm. And so I've gotten really in tune with other cuisines. Like I make Korean food. I make Mexican food. Yeah, like I will find, because I love, like, I have a very diverse palette.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I can make pretty much anything, with a good little recipe. But no, Southern food, I used to, like, for a couple of years, my mother used to go back to Nigeria during Thanksgiving, because why would she do that? She used to do that. And so I'm the oldest. So it would be left to me to cook for the family for Thanksgiving. So I would make, like, every dish. And that's turkey, ham, mac and cheese, potatoes, greens, stuffing. Like, I'm making it all. I just, whoosh.
You see, you leaving extra money on the table. Okay, what you were supposed to do, you had a 2 or 3 hour block between Trader Joe's and auditions where you could have been doing the plates. Okay.
Listen, no. I definitely was not working at this time. This is like, I would go home because all my family lives in Atlanta.
Oh, you really are an Atlanta girl. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I would go home and stay with them, cook, enjoy, and then I'd fly back to my home.
Now, what did your mother think about this? Because as an African child, African parents are very practical, so they don't understand. Like, you want to act a fool? Like, what you doing? So what was your mother's thought?
Let me tell you something, because my mama is very blunt.
Yes, of course she is.
And it's not like I be blunt with her, because she loves to be like, I always supported you. And I'm like, no, you didn't.
Oh no, they love the accolades now. I'm telling you, she
Oh,
is
baby,
so
now
proud. I know that. Yeah.
my daughter is an actress.
She's
Have
an
you
actress
seen
now, yeah.
my daughter on TV? Have you seen that show Fat Nights? I'm like, girl. But no, she has always been supportive to an
Good.
extent, like since I was little, because I've been in shows and plays since I was a child. Like, it's all I've ever wanted to do with my life. And so she would always come to my plays. She's my biggest critic. So I learned, and I'm grateful. You know, at the
Yeah,
time,
you
I was
need that. Yeah.
girl, back. But
Yeah.
now I'm grateful because it really grew me a tough skin. So now when someone like is like, oh, you're not pretty, or you're not this, or you're not that, it's
Which is
just like,
insane. Like, who the heck is saying that to Artrece? Like, well, hello.
girl, listen,
This world is so crazy. And you know what? Before you even continue that thought, the reason why people say things like that too, I think a lot of times is that, and you'll find that the more negative things that people say to you, to me, it's more so them seeing something in you that they're trying to tear down that they do not see in themselves.
absolutely.
And that is the most blatant and obvious form of projection. And
Yeah.
I'm so immune to that. I see it for what it is, and I do not receive it. I'm like, oh, you're the type. I already know what that is, but go on.
Yeah, you really have to. I tell a lot of people, like, you have to have a secure sense of self.
Absolutely.
Especially,
And in acting, especially, geez.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
been so much scrutiny and so much this and that, and oh, how could you have, you know what I'm saying? So you have to, but I'm so grateful for my culture, like, you know, my Nigerian culture, and
Yeah.
just even because my mother's still very blunt. No one's asking her, but she's giving it out. And but the beautiful thing is her kids are so, like, no one could, it doesn't really phase me when, like, rejection in this industry doesn't phase me.
Okay.
So I'm like, hey, I kind of wanted that. But it's not like oh, you're not good enough. Because with my mom, if you're not good enough, then you need to try harder.
Right. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
don't give up. You need to figure out how to be better. You know, my mother was always just like, I was like, Mom, what did you think about the play? It was okay, but I think it was good. And I'm like, great.
Hilarious. Right, exactly. Like, okay.
Girl, so
But
after
even
so
then, it's like she said, because I know how parents are, because they'll say something like that, and it's like, that actually probably is a compliment. They're just trying to make sure that I try a little harder.
yeah, right. Yeah. And I know that she does mean well.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
she wants you to be, I feel like that's why most African beings
yeah,
succeed at whatever they
yeah.
try to do in life, because it's like, if you're gonna do it, be the best at it.
That's right. That's the mentality.
That's what we strive for in the culture. Like, if you're gonna do it, you know. Don't half do it, you know. And that's her motto at anything. Like, that's my motto for just dressing up. Like, if I'm going to do it, like, my friends always tell me, they're like, oh, you don't really have like a middle ground. It's either you're really dressed or you're not dressed at all. Like, well, I mean, I
I
guess.
saw you. I went to the New York premiere, and I'm like, check you out. And it's funny because it's just speaking to what you're saying now. Like let's think about your character, right? Let's think about your character. Let's think about you right now, and let's think about even you at the premiere. You're right. I did not know that was you. Like, I did not know. And had I interviewed you before, I would have absolutely known that you were approachable. Like, then I'd have been like, I would have definitely been like, hey girl, you know, like,
girl, I know. I try to walk around with a smile because,
no,
like,
I mean, yeah, no, of course.
my features. People always like, you look so mean, and I'm like, I'm not mean.
I don't think you looked mean. You just don't know what you're getting with people, right?
That's
I mean,
true.
Terrence Howard was walking around there with that perm around on.
Terrence is such a sweetheart too.
No, I've interviewed him before. He's a nice guy. He was very nice. Yeah, and his cat climbed into the frame, and he's petting his cat, and we're all trying to be serious. And I'm just like, this is so quirky and so interesting at the same time.
He is such a sweet man. Love him. Love him.
That's wonderful. So what do any of your siblings act as well?
I am the only actor. I'm the only artist, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it happens.
She wanted to get into makeup, but she she's not really doing that right now. So she's about to go back to school. But yeah,
that's tough too.
It is, and it's not, art life is, I don't really think it's for everyone.
No, it's not, because there's a lot of hustle to it, and you're probably, it's very few people are only doing that thing. Most of us are, you're working on something else on the side and just trying to make ends meet. But to be able to just say, like, I'm fully in it right now, that's a very, very small percentage of people, a single percentage probably.
Yeah. And I think they probably watched me struggle so long that I'm going to go to school.
Hilarious. So let me ask you this. So when you were at a point where you were just kind of like, okay, I don't even know what I'm going to do, and you were even saying like, you didn't even qualify for food stamps. Like you were just at a... Girl, listen, because I'm
still mad about that.
Right? Okay, I done been on food stamps before. I was getting $168 a month, and it was carrying. Okay,
girl, you gotta come over to LA because they give you like $2 something.
What? Oh no, they would not give me more than I was $168 a month, and I was on them, and I was using my food stamps. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I just, I think that is when things get hard, it's like your test.
Yeah.
How you react to things is how you see the growth in
That's
you.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you, cause like I said before, if you react negatively and you stress out and there's still nothing you can do, it's almost like you're giving this energy for no reason.
Yeah.
You might as well just calmly let your emotions die down and just, know that something better is on the horizon and just enjoy being present. I think staying present is like the key to not stressing, because a lot of time our stress is really based on us thinking in the future or in the past. So if you just
so much emotional like maturity.
Oh, thank you.
What is your sign?
I'm a Libra.
Me too, girl. My birthday is tomorrow. When is yours?
Period. My birthday was on the 3rd.
Hey, Libras in the house.
That's why we're like the
I knew you were a Libra. Let me tell you, I just knew. It was way too even kill. Like it's just too much zen. Folks, people are unhinged out here, girl.
Haters will say we're not the best, but we know.
Well, no, we know we are. We're the best. We have the most true balance, And for that reason, we sometimes you could be under attack. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know we had a problem. Like,
listen. You're like, you don't like me?
I didn't know, right? Exactly, girl. The stuff that comes out of people's mouths, like, oh, and this is why this. I'm like, I had no idea. Like,
literally, I'm like, baby, if you didn't give it to me straight, I didn't know.
I didn't know. Yeah, exactly. I don't expect that. So that's crazy. Yeah. What do you think about getting recognized now?
You know what? I think that I don't know if I'm fully.
Oh, you don't feel like you're just there yet?
Yeah, no. People have recognized me and I'm still surprised, because in my mind, I'm like, if I put a new hairstyle in, no one will know who I am.
But see, to me, that's the interesting, that's the brilliance of the character, because in this particular role, you're so conservative, and demure, and
I'm not conservative.
Well, that's true too. Well, and you're saying that you as a person.
As a person,
okay. Yeah. But I was gonna say, well, low key, like let's be for real. Like she showed some a side to her that they were like, oh, okay. When she was interacting with her, we won't spoil it for nobody. Which I'm pretty sure they're watching it anyway.
Okay, because y'all should have watched it.
Yeah, okay. Like, why would you not be watching? This is
y'all should be on y'all second watch.
This is what I'm saying. And I was, I got to see the season finale.
Jealous. I'm jealous. Stop.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't even see it yet? Well, what are you thinking now? Because again, what you were saying is that this was your first time, being in a role where you were featured, not necessarily, you were a regular. You're not just a guest. You're not, a featured extra or anything like that. So when you're watching this and you're seeing the final edit and you're watching it like your friends, when you're doing the watch parties, what is even going through your mind in this moment?
A bunch of gratitude. Well, first of all, TV and film is definitely made in post, because I didn't even know I was in the series as much.
Interesting, right?
Yeah, so I remember filming all those scenes, but most of the time I would film a lot of those scenes in one day.
Huh, okay.
So to see it play out, I was like, oh wow, she's important.
Yo, you are.
You know, everybody already. I'm new to this game, so I'm like, wow, that's cool. Girl, you was acting. Like I'm literally watching it as a viewer,
Yeah.
So I'm like I'm always very surprised to see how it plays out. And like I actually enjoy the show.
Oh, right, because you're getting to watch it like we are, right? Because yeah, that's good.
Like, oh, you enjoy because you're in it. No, actually, I'm very picky with TV, and I don't watch everything I'm in. Like, I'll watch what scene and move on. But no, funny. This show, I actually have watched it like everyone else. Like, I think people are like, oh, well, you guys already seen it. Baby, I haven't seen the finale. I haven't seen any of it. Unless when I did ADR, I saw a little bit of it. But yeah, I hadn't seen it, so I'm watching it like the rest of us, So yeah, I think it's cool. It is amazing because I've always wanted to just do good work.
Yeah.
That is like my biggest thing. Like I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so like I didn't know what my work was gonna look like. I was very stressed out filming, girl, I was just like, child, I'm filming with all these people. They got this long resumes. I got 2 seconds of a co-star. Child, I don't know how this is gonna. I would be asking the director, "You sure you got everything?" Okay, if you didn't, let me know. Because and my one director friend, he was just like, when you go on to your next projects, you just go up to the director and tell him straight, like, listen, you can be blunt with me. I was raised.
Oh, that's good advice.
Yeah.
By a Nigerian woman. So nothing.
You can literally say, you're not giving me what I need. And I will then pivot. Because it's a collaborative sport. I want to make sure. I feel like sometimes they don't fully tell you, but my team was like, yeah, if they're not saying anything, that means you're doing good. And I'm like, child, be honest with you. Yeah. They can tell me stuff that they're like, oh my God, Artrece, your work is just it's so subtle. And I'm like, child, mind you, this is the writer. You don't know what he's talking about.
Why you know about this?
I don't know. I was going home crying to God. I was like, God, you sure this is what I'm supposed to be doing? Because I'm not feeling it, And then so to see it, and I was like, wow, girl, look at the life you've made.
Look at you. Yeah. Does this make, when you have an opportunity like this, because this is a lot bigger than a lot of things, obviously. Does it make the roles, are the auditions, are they starting to roll out more now? Is there a complete difference in what you're getting in front of you?
Well, I haven't seen a difference yet.
Okay. That's honest. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm hopeful. I'm positive about it, because I believe, that I put out some good work. I've definitely got a lot of meetings.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, our industry is actually technically slowing down at this time because it's about to be holiday season, so we slow down a bit.
Well, when do they film the holiday movies?
Oh, girl, those are like filmed. First of all, the year before, sometimes in the spring.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're filmed way before December for sure.
Oh, okay.
So, our slow season starts now, and it really slows down around Thanksgiving and throughout Christmas. And there's some productions, like 1 or 2 or 3, that may happen during that time, but for the most part, that is when we slow down a bit, and then we start back up in January.
Did you make friends with the cast? Did you find people that solidly became your family?
There are, one thing that I really appreciated about this set. I learned so many things, but I appreciated the camaraderie. Like it felt like when you're going to work, it felt like I was going to my cousin's house.
That's good.
To work. We were so close knit. I mean, crew and
that's awesome. That's good.
We were just like, it's like we're going to work, but we're like, girl, we're going to Kiki too. It was so, I don't know how they built that type of energy on that set.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I think, coming off the strike, because we were like the first to film on the lot that we filmed on. We were the first to film there.
This was all shot in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And just everyone being happy to have a job, because we just finished with a strike, and then we all got that job. So that was our first job right out of the strike, for all of us, I think, cast and crew. And so I think, a mixture of everyone had just being happy to be there, and also just everyone just being good people. Like a lot of the people, like the directors and the producers and, the cast, I'm still friends with, like we hang out and stuff like that. So it was beautiful. I hope to continue on making beautiful friendships and stuff like that with the next projects that I work on, because I just, you don't really know that that's what you're going to get out of that.
I'll tell you something funny. I do many interviews. Like, I've interviewed hundreds of people at this point. There are definitely times when I've interviewed people and I can tell when the cast don't like each other. I'm like, oh, well, that wasn't fun.
And it's hard.
It's not often. A lot of times people haven't seen each other in a while, so they get really excited. So if I'm doing like a group interview and it's like 6 of them, they're just like, oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. I haven't seen you in a month of Sundays. But sometimes you're just like, okay, let's get this interview over with and we can move on. It's like, ooh, what happened? Must have been reality TV on that set.
Listen, and that happens, because I think what we don't realize is it is actually a job.
It's a job at the end of the day. It really is.
Yeah.
It's
like
true.
Even though some of us have strived our whole lives to make it happen.
Sure.
When you get there, you're like, oh, this is a job. Yes. I'm excited to be here, but this is also
you're like, wow.
Right. I'm like, oh my God. I'm just happy to be here. Okay. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, I really enjoyed, I enjoyed my time on set with those people. Like when we had the premiere, we were so happy to see each other.
I can only but imagine. The premiere was so fun anyway. And a lot of you guys, it was very different than a lot of things that I see. Like there were sections where, of course, which was kind of like the VIP section, so to speak. But I mean, most of y'all was coming down, dancing on the dance floor, like just hanging out, mingling.
We were so talking. Close.
I mean, it just wasn't, the energy of it was not like, it was something that, it was a vibe that I just haven't seen in a very, very long time, and it was nostalgic in that way, just even, it was set in a time and it reminded me of a time. So girl, it takes a lot to get me to come outside, especially like I don't even like going, I don't even like, honestly, like, it's going to sound crazy because people would love to be able to say that they can do it, but I don't even like doing red carpet interviews. I don't want to get on the red carpet. Like, so Artrece, so who are you wearing? Okay, wonderful. Like, I don't care who you're wearing. I want to know how you're doing. You know what I mean? And you only get 90 seconds. So it's just not, I'd rather sit here and talk to you like this and shut up. Yeah, I don't care what people are wearing. I don't care.
Yeah, no, it is extremely quick. And I was quite surprised.
Right, no, they move on. They got your PR. Listen, girl, I know the game. PR person comes up. Okay, Artrece Johnson coming up. Ooh, okay, this one. Okay,
questions.
Two, maybe. Then it's like, okay. I'm like,
I didn't even, okay, well, thank you.
I don't have time for that, because there's nothing I could say in 90 seconds, if even that is going to be so significant that either of us will really, really have a particularly significant interaction. And if it does, it comes down to something that's probably viral and nasty. And I'm not that kind of person. I don't need that moment. I don't want to embarrass nobody. I ain't gonna ask you who you're dating. I don't, nothing that nobody, if you don't want to talk about it, then we're not talking about it. Like, I don't just bring stuff up. Like, so I heard in high school, wow, no. I prefer a better press. I want something that is going to be memorable. That's what I prefer. So.
Stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, thankfully, well, people don't know my business, so
exactly right.
I don't have anything negative.
Y'all notice she don't got no picture frames in the back. That's how I was when I used to work in like cubicles and stuff like that. I did not have no family pics. Y'all not gonna see what's going on with me.
Yeah, you have to some things you really have to keep sacred.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, that I am still trying to figure out how to navigate, because I think I'm still looking at myself as just a regular person.
I think you have to, the one thing I think you should do, which it sounds crazy even to talk about it, I'm sure, but you have to walk in what it is now. Like, you can't be doing that now. You've
Yeah.
earned and deserved that. And it's like, because I have a really bad habit of doing the same thing too, but it's like, you can't go to Applebee's happy hour no more. Like, that's not for you, girl.
Girl, that's what my
No,
friend said.
no, you can't do that. You can't go to Chili's no more and just be
You can't
chilling
walk
with the
around
5 o'clock crowd.
crazy.
I'm not saying you can't go to Chili's. I'm just saying, like, you ain't gonna be the regular on Thursdays because they got
Yeah.
the mozzarella. You can't. That's no longer what you do. And you
Yeah.
gotta remind yourself.
Yeah, because a child, the way, even my friends, they hate me. They hate to see me coming on a day where I don't feel like it, because I will literally walk out the house with a
No,
scarf on
you can't
and
do
be
that no more.
good.
You're gonna laugh. You're actually probably gonna laugh at yourself because you're gonna do that. And that's gonna be that paparazzi moment where it's like, why in the heck am I in People magazine with my bonnet on?
I do not need no viral bonnet pictures.
Do you remember how much as they were going in on that? I was like, first of all, mind y'all's business, and it's an airport. Why do you guys care what's on anybody's head?
Especially if someone is flying at 6 a.m., which is the flights I like to take.
Typically, right, exactly. In and out, like, yeah.
Of course they have their bonnet. And I think people don't realize that African American women have a natural hair and we wear it straight.
That's right.
And you have to keep it covered from humidity if you want the style to last, because not everyone knows how to do their hair. So say she just got her hair done. Like, I just didn't see the big deal personally.
It was, I mean, I'm telling you, it was like national news. Like, we were out here in violation of a code.
Listen, anything that's happening with a Black woman, God.
Oh, that's so true. That's so true. Well, now though, you know what they've been saying now. Now we do have some good press, because now they've been saying like the Black girl effect with the white spouses. Have you been seeing that on TikTok? It's a trend where
yes, Black women are elevating their white spouses.
Yeah, exactly.
As we do with anyone we're with.
With anyone, exactly.
Black women elevate the world. Honestly.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, girl.
No one's gonna say that though. But
that's so true. So, I mean, let's talk about your natural, because you said something about doing hair too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually have done hair since I was 11.
Okay, you're just like, well, I would only.
How old I am? I'm 18.
Oh, girl, and I'll be 25 if you're 18. Let's
girl, I know that's right. Maybe when I turn 21, we can go out for drinks.
Okay, maybe then. Well, and you know what? Let's make it Applebee's. We'll do it for nostalgia.
Period. I love that.
I love it. But no, listen, no, and for me, it came out of needing to, because my mother, my African parents were not about to take me to the salon and spend $100. So it just comes out of necessity. So I was like, I taught myself. I woke up braiding. I just taught myself how to braid. I didn't know. I didn't know. I went in there. I was like, oh, this is what you do. So I can braid. Girl, I can do the zigzags and all that crazy stuff. All of that. Oh yeah, honey. I can braid.
I can't do that.
No, box braids, all of that too.
Yeah, no, I do box braids. I can do pretty much any style.
Sure.
Not all of them on my own hair. Okay. But like, if someone was just like, oh, can you do this? I'm like, yeah. Even if never done it, I'll just figure it out.
No, I get it, but it goes back to art, and a lot of it is geometry and things like that. So right, it's like a math art sort of combination. But now I want to clarify something, just like you said, I'm not doing hearts in my own head. I ain't on that level. No. But I used to I had a short haircut where I used to even like cut my own hair down.
I thought about doing that because for my guy friend, he was like, now who is going to let you practice on their head? Oh yeah,
there's that. Yeah.
I guess I won't learn how to do that. But had I had somebody to practice on, I probably would be doing male head too.
See,
I actually learned. My mom is the one who taught me, because she didn't want to, or she honestly couldn't even afford to go to the salon.
Yeah, so you learn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So she taught me how to do her hair, and it was the best thing for me because, like, I would get chump change here and there. But when I went to college, it sustained me. Mm-hmm. I was always paid. I think I did almost every Black woman's hair on that college.
Did you go to school in Atlanta?
I went to West Georgia.
Okay, I went to Clark.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, so
yeah.
yeah, I'd have met you somehow, some way, someday anyway.
Yeah, probably. Like, yeah, because Atlanta's, it's big, but it's small.
But it's small. Yeah, anybody that has a similar interest at some particular point in time, you will run into each other. That is
Yeah.
absolutely correct. Yeah.
Wait, so what brought you to New York?
I ended up going to I went to grad school in New York. So I ended up going to I went to Clark Atlanta University, then I ended up going to Pratt Institute. I'm as random as they come. Like there's so many.
Me too. Me too.
I'm so random. So
wait, don't you wake up some days and you're like I told my friend, I said, yeah, when I want to do something, I can just wake up and be like, I'm gonna do it.
I mean, I was telling somebody, I was like, I can be so whimsical in nature that like, if you, we're talking about that, but somebody could be like, hey, like, let's say my friend Mike calls me, he's like, hey, you want to go to Phoenix tomorrow? Let's drive there. I'll be like, okay. Like, it's like, okay,
yeah.
Think about like how y'all gonna get there. Like, all right, whatever. Okay. So
we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Hopefully the car doesn't break down. Let's go.
Literally, I told somebody that I said, because actually this process of this year, everything that's been going on this year has made me more of a like structured person, like scheduling and things like that. Good. Which naturally I'm not like that.
right.
So I've had to really like buckle down.
Sure.
Because naturally I like to be like, I don't like to think too long because I'll talk myself out of something. So I'll just be like, I'm gonna do it. With everything, like people are always just like, how'd you move to New York? And then how did you move to LA? And I said, I just woke up and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it.
That's how I think. And if I don't like it, I'll just get out of it. Like, I don't think about,
That's what I'm saying. It's just like, baby, you don't have to think too hard. You don't, especially if you don't have no kids.
No. And I don't want kids, by the way. I want people to know this.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't want no children. Leave them children to the rest of them people.
Yeah. I'm just like, if you don't have no kids,
I can do whatever I want.
Holding you back.
Absolutely
you
not.
Can just do it. You just get up and all right.
Well, look, you got all these people that are in this particular production, right? Mm-hmm. So it's really probably, this is almost a difficult question at this point, but like in terms of a dream role, who would you want to be in a production with?
You know what's so crazy? I was in. That is why I'm going to keep going with this. The journey is something that you have to stay present in life because your journey is the sweetest part of your life. When you get to the point of what you could consider your success, then it's like, all right, now what?
Oh, wow. Right.
Yeah.
Because you look at Kevin Hart. He was producing and also in a feature role in this. So he's like working double time. He's got his production company. This is someone that if you're talking about somebody that's reached the pinnacle of success, Kevin Hart is way up there. Like way up.
He's a great example of that because he even says it. He's just like, you make all this money. You've bought everything you've ever wanted. You've done everything you've ever wanted. His motto now is like giving back.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Like pulling people. He's very giving. I wasn't sure if people knew that because
I've seen it.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, I'm like, he's hilarious. He's very funny. I said, but that is a very sweet person.
And he's also like, he's quiet about it. Like, you'll hear somebody. Quiet. You'll hear somebody. Yeah, you won't know. And like, you'll hear somebody say like, yeah, so it just so happened that, I couldn't pay my rent or whatever. And Kevin Hart paid my rent for 2 years. Like, what? Like, it's just, you hear the most angelic stories about what Kevin Hart has done for people.
If you were on set with him, he is so busy. He is so, like, he is a businessman to the core. Like, he has so many streams of businesses going on. Like, I don't even know how he really functions, honestly, because he doesn't.
It's unique. It's unique.
Yeah, but he is so present.
Oh yeah.
I was on set with them. This was when I started shadowing the director. And
that assignment you took on, the audacity of the assignment. Yes, go on.
Actually, I was the director.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So when I was the director, but no, I would go to because the crew has an aesthetic of how they like to dress.
Yeah.
It's not my aesthetic, So I just went in workout clothes.
Sure.
Like I would wear all kinds of workout clothes. I know one time I showed up and I had this hot pink full on workout outfit.
Girl, why do I do that too? Like I'm telling, and I may not even work out that day, but for some reason,
I never did.
Athleisure is it's just the way.
Comfortable.
It's the way. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
so I'm coming to set. They're cracking jokes. I mean, the entire set is cracking jokes. Kevin, Don, the director, the crew, everyone's just like, you're a bit bright today.
Well, there you go.
Said, you think so? I was just like, pink. They were like, Artrece, literally no one here is wearing the bright ass color you have on. We're all wearing black. I said, whose idea was it to have you guys in black?
Something has to change.
You know what I'm saying? I'm livening up the set at this point. And they were like, whatever. So they're all cracking jokes. I think like a week, and I like every day I was wearing workout clothes, all kinds. And so a week later, my team calls me like, hey, Kevin wants to send you a package. And I'm thinking like, in my head, I'm like, why? I've already received the welcome gift. Maybe he doesn't know. And I said, okay, yeah, sure. And so I gave the address. This huge box comes, huge, full of workout clothes.
Yo, that is hilarious.
I think he was just like, he sent me workout clothes, a duffel bag, all kinds of things. And it was such a beautiful job. I said, oh, he pays attention.
That was just what I was gonna say. That's somebody who pays attention. I like that.
Yeah, he's probably like, wow, she loves workout clothes. Let me send her some.
That's so kind.
It was so sweet of him. And then I see him on set, and I was like, you didn't have to do that. That was so nice. And he was like, stop. Like he didn't even want me to tell him thank you. He just wanted to move on. He's such a giving. I pray to be that giving. Yeah. You know,
I can already tell, just from your energy and your spirit. I already know that you've got a good head on your shoulders.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like I think in this life it's just like we are all just trying to survive.
That's right.
But, like once you are just living, it is nothing if you cannot share it with people.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, like who wants to be, just standing alone in anything, right?
Yeah,
I love that. If any chance I get, yes, I want the most people around me, and not. I'm not saying it to even center myself, but I want to enjoy joy with others. You know?
Like really enjoy people, get to share. Like, hey, I got this. I have this amount of success. I'd love to like have you experience the fruit of my labor with me. Like I think that's it's just something we all need, because if we were meant to do this life alone, I tell people all the time, if you need help, you should ask. If we were meant to do this alone, we would all be on our own worlds.
That's right.
Alone, doing it.
We're a communal people.
Yeah, like people forget that, everyone wants to figure it out by themselves. It's just like, that's literally not how life works. But okay.
So do you still have your friends? Like, I'm just wondering, like, you're kind of your old friends from old jobs. And
I am, let me tell you something. I am not Hollywood.
She's like, I'm never gonna be that.
It's not me. I am so very big on loyalty.
Good.
No, I'm a very loyal person. I like to think I'm genuine. I still hang out. I still talk to the same people. I'm still friends with the same. Like it doesn't, like even some of the people that I'm friends with that are not in the industry, I'm still friends with them. I don't, because this is still just a job, and also like, I don't need to walk around here like I'm just like too good to be,
right.
Because also, this could all end tomorrow.
It's just, you just never know where life can take us. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't need to treat anyone bad. I don't think anyone should, no one should.
And you notice that, I mean, even when we were using Kevin Hart as an example, like when we're talking about Terrence Howard, or really even just a Don Cheadle, people like that, they're not mean. They're not mean people. It's always very interesting, because when I think about the people that I have to interact with that are unkind, it's never the person that actually has earned the like license to actually treat people that way. They never do.
Yeah, they're not. Everyone on that set is so I think it's like they're grounded and they
Yeah,
have gotten where they've come from, and that things could change for them, and things like that. They're just all very not. It taught me, that it's okay to just be yourself. You don't have
absolutely.
to change now that this has happened to you. You don't have to
Mhm.
be different. You don't nothing, like I just child, I was myself the whole time.
Let me get that camera. Let me see if I can shoot this scene.
I no girl. I was gonna start posting today because I have so many pictures. There was a time when I was just like, "Can I do the clap thing?" And they were like, I don't remember what they called it, but they said,
Yeah, I don't even know what it's called.
yeah,
But I know the clap thing. I don't know what the official.
and they allowed me to do it. I there was times when I was just like I joke around it all the time with the director, and I'm like, yeah, because when I was shadowing the director, I would show up to set, and I would be like to the actors, well, I'm actually the director. That's my assistant. I, but he's the face, because
Right.
but yeah, no, we had a lot of fun on that set. It
That's
was
great.
amazing.
I know that you're grateful, but I think that all of us are grateful, and it's nice to be able to champion someone and to see someone really have their moment and deserve their moment. Not to say that people are undeserving necessarily, but it's nice to be able to root for somebody who like, yeah, I'm glad she was the one.
Oh,
Yeah, that's fun. And being African, it doesn't hurt at all because exactly.
I don't know what they say in East Africa, but no, Niger, we know they carry last.
Yeah, Nadia, yeah, Daddy Caroline. Yeah, I know that one too.
So I'm very grateful. I'm also just I'm excited to like keep going on the journey.
Yeah,
In Jesus' name, so that I can like hopefully be able to show people that have come from the backgrounds that I've come from that
sure.
it's possible,
Mhm.
that have had similar upbringings as me and stuff like that. Because girl, I've I've had an experience in
Oh,
this,
I'm sure.
like many, like
I'm
from
sure.
like being poor, foster
Yeah.
care, all of these things. So just
Mm.
being able to like make such a dream that seems like something that you can't touch, be an example.
It's attainable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and being able to tell people like, no, you just gotta believe.
And
Hard work,
it's
believe.
it's weird though, because as you've said, you've worked so hard and for so long at this, right? But it's weird how these things go, because everything to every from the outside looking in, it feels overnight. So it's like, preparing yourself for like, now that this has happened, suddenly this is just going to be like all these things are going to happen for you. You just
Mhm.
you just keep going, right? And it's just like it goes from a steady pace, let's say, or slow, however you want to look at it, and it's just like just
Yeah,
out of here, right? So it's
yeah,
like that moment, and just from here to there, it's just I'm sure you're gonna be like, what is happening around me?
yeah, yeah.
But
That's my feelings now. I'm
yeah,
like,
right, exactly. Listen, I even talked to Will Packer about this. I mean, this is a guy that's been in the game for decades at this particular point. And I was like, do you ever like just kind of just say like pinch yourself? Like, I can't believe this is
yes,
he's like, I still have those moments. You know,
yeah, because
yeah.
you're like, I don't know how this is.
Little me.
Little me, I don't know how I got, but we get there brick by brick.
That's right.
The house is built by one brick at a time,
That's right.
and I think that's why staying present is such a key thing to do, because you have to you have to be able to see your journey
Mm-hmm.
outside of yourself so that you can see the progress that you're making. Because if you don't, you
Mm.
can kind of like you can self-destruct, because it feels
Mm.
like if you're so negative and pessimistic about everything, oh, I'm not doing anything, I'm not doing that. You are doing things, it's just not what you envisioned it to be.
Right. That's true.
Yeah,
Right.
but you're
Wow.
you're moving closer to where you want to be. It's just brick by brick, and
That's right.
have to that is how life is built.
That's right.
You can't
And
be here. and then get to another point, because there are things, lessons, people that you have to meet, go through, and learn in order for you to get to the next step.
That's right. That's right.
So
no, and as they say, trust the process.
You have
You
to.
have to. If you're working hard, you're doing every single thing that you're supposed to do. It'll come.
Yeah.
And no, no, that you've let me tell you something. You've shared some very invaluable points even now. You don't even realize, like, as my birthday, approaches in hours.
Happy birthday. Happy early birthday.
Thank you so much, girl. You're the first person to say it. Oh my gosh, Artrece, happy birthday. Happy belated, my sister.
Thank you.
No, but I mean, it's good to talk to somebody that's very grounded and that appreciates every moment, and how it comes,
Yeah,
That's
because you don't get, time is the most expensive thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And if you don't stay present and really like take in little things, because you don't know, like, even like I thought the other day, I was just like, if life ever changes for me and I become some star, I need to right now take in the fact that I can just go to the Walmart.
Oh, absolutely. No, you're right. Yeah, because those things can change.
Yeah,
And as we were saying, it can change overnight.
And people always talk negatively. There's so many actors that always say, like, I wish I could just go outside and not think, So that's why I'm just like, people are like, oh, what about the moments when, I'm like, I don't know if I really even think about that. I'm just happy that I can still go outside and look a mess.
I'm telling you, if I see you in one of these gossip live, if I see you on E Entertainment, I am going to be the first one.
I told that girl.
I'm gonna be the first one. I promise. I'm gonna DM you. I ain't gonna say nothing in public. I'm gonna just DM. I'm not even gonna say nothing in the DM. I'm just gonna send you the picture, and I'm gonna mind my business.
Outside, I thought nobody know who Artrece was.
Hilarious. So, I mean, what do you have anything in the works right now that you're working on, or are you just taking? I mean, because you guys are still in the busy season with this. You're still doing your interviews, and you're still
right. Yeah. So right now, I've just been focusing on interviews,
sure,
and auditioning, and hopefully, this one project goes through, and then that's my next gig, and just living in the now. And
sure. And then you mentioned shadowing the director. Are you also on that side of things where you want to maybe even write yourself, or are you doing that?
I never actually wanted to be a director.
Okay.
I only did it so that I could get better at acting. It was
okay. That's an interesting perspective. Okay. That's the first time I've heard that. Okay.
Yeah, it allows me to see, I guess that's how my mind works. It allows me to see all the behind all the curtains.
Good. No, that's a great attitude.
Yeah, and it's so funny because Don had asked me the same thing, and he was just like, "What made you want to shadow?" And I was just like, "Oh, I just want to be a better actor." And he said that was smart,
Yes,
because he did the same thing. That's why he shadowed in the beginning, to be a better actor. And Don is one of the best actors.
Absolutely. I mean, you think Don is auditioning?
Okay.
we want to get there, right? We all
right. I said, well, that's confirmation that one of these days,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I did that. And actually, Kevin told me to shadow.
And by the way, look how you're talking. So when Don was talking to me, and when Kevin said,
my friend Don.
I love it. I love it. I do.
They're very insightful people.
Good.
They want us to, be the next thing. You know
what, something? There's only one other person that I've spoken to, and she was right, maybe where you are now, at the time, and it was Soraya, and I don't know if you're familiar with Soraya.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Empire.
That's right. And one of the things that she said to me was that after she was done acting, she would stay. She asked could she stay, if she had permission to stay on set and just watch the process. And she had really the same attitude that you have. And I'm now watching, and I'm seeing Soraya from when, just from the moment she was just getting there to now, right? And it's like, this is what happens when you work hard. You work hard. You want to be a part. You want to understand. You have curiosity, and you want to know how everything works, so you can be better for it. Like this type of thought process. You don't hear a lot of people talking like that, and that's exactly why she has continued to climb and be where she's at. That's exactly why that's going to happen for you. I get it.
Amen. Yeah, I hope I never lose audacity.
Exactly.
Yeah, like seriously, because I wanna always be. I don't know if I'll ever use curiosity because, girl, I can learn about anything. My favorite thing to watch is documentaries. I can.
Oh, me too. I love it. Yeah.
Girl, I can learn anything. I can just be like, wow, So, but the audacity, I hope I never lose that, as well, because that it's a great survival tips, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. But no, it's funny you said that the documentary is about anything. I just start searching stuff. So I'd be like, what do Komodo dragons like to do? And then it's just like, oh my God, they're just the most violent creatures in the world,
Girl, something that, and that, you know what? And that is a telltale sign of why, like, even in our industry, I'm glad. I mean, we're moving a little slow with it, but we're moving. But it is the reason why stories can be richer. Any story can be told, whether it's about someone from the Philippines or someone from Madagascar, and it should be told authentically, because you don't have to say, oh, well, it's a Black film or a Black show, so only marketed to Black people. Everyone needs to watch everyone's story.
That's right. And humanity in and of itself, emotion is relatable. So it's like, I may not have been through that, but I understand the anger, or I understand the love. I understand.
And also let me learn about this culture.
That's right.
I know how to navigate in this life.
That is correct.
There's no life where it's just Black, it's just white, or it's just this. You know what I'm saying? Like, me personally, I can watch first of all, I can watch anything, and I don't have to see one Black person in it, and I can still watch it.
That's right. Yeah.
So that works for everyone, and I hope that, Hollywood continues to grow in that aspect, because it's just like, it's always this thing about like, well, it's Black, it's only catered for Blacks. No, it's for everyone.
That's right. No, just like music, right? Like it's for everyone. Exactly. Yeah.
You don't have to be just like, oh, this is for the Blacks, or this is for the whites. No, babe. We're for everybody. Everyone needs to be watching Fight Night. It's
hello.
A true story.
Exactly. But I was saying it's so interesting. It's based on a true story, but then it's also like, this is something that was spawned from the podcast. Like, who thought a podcast could inspire a series?
No, girl, you know what's even crazier? So my godmom is friends with the guy who did the podcast.
Get out of here.
Yeah, my godmom is she's white. She's this white lady. Love
Speaking of white folks, no.
Right. Speaking of white people, and why we all should be, intertwined. But she actually, she's friends with Jeff Keating, the guy who made the podcast, which the show. So the show is based on the podcast. The podcast is based on the true story.
Right. So cool. But and by the way, I heard of the podcast. I knew about the podcast. Like, a lot of my friends were raving about it before anyway. So before I even knew a series was come to be, like, all of my friends were into the podcast. And that's authentically, I'm telling the truth. Like, that's really what it was.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I never heard of the story at all.
Well, prior to that, I didn't know, but I couldn't believe this could be based on a true story.
Isn't it wild?
It's crazy.
I literally, even watching it, I'm just like, so did that actually happen? Like, and this is wild. I'm like, dang, so did that really happen? Like, did the people get killed like that?
Man, I'm telling you.
It's not unheard of. So I'm like, wow, it's
stuff like that happens. I mean, I've seen stuff like that on a smaller scale. Not to, I'm not trying to say I'm out in these streets outside, jumped off the porch, doing no crazy stuff. And I'm certainly not no Teflon Don. I'm not trying to be.
I'm not off the porch.
I ain't no queen pin or nothing like that.
Right.
But I've seen some things on a much smaller scale that have become that. That's why I know this is true, because I've seen it. I've seen it
Yeah.
in my own eyes.
Especially out in New York.
Oh, absolutely. I've seen crazy stuff in New York.
Whew.
Girl, like, you wouldn't even believe, like, it used to be, I've seen things that I was born in Chicago, right? And
so you've definitely seen. Wait. Sidebar. Have you seen We Are Grown?
No.
We grown now. We grown now.
We grown now. Okay,
It's
I'll
on
put some
Netflix. It's based in Chicago. Write that down. You have to go watch it.
Okay, We Grown Now.
Journey Smollett. Shot absolutely beautiful.
Okay.
New kid actors, amazing.
Oh, good. No, I love that. I love to see, and it's so funny because I'm always concerned about interviewing kid actors, and I was like sometimes I don't want to interview them because I don't know what the kids are going to be talking about. But I mean, I just don't know. Like, I don't know what to talk about with these kids. Like, okay, do you like Starburst? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. But I have been interviewing some really incredible dynamic kids, and I'm just like, okay, well, listen, this child can carry a conversation, and I know exactly why you're in this field. So no. I've seen some children that can act, Yeah. So okay, I put that in my notes. I'm gonna watch We Grown Now, and that's on Netflix. You said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is my next one.
That's so beautiful.
Okay, good. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I didn't, and I asked you, like, I was trying to respect your time. Like, is it okay? You're like, girl, go ahead.
Oh, what's so funny? When it's only 15 minutes, I'm normally like, but you didn't even ask me nothing.
Right? No, but people will be a hard out. Like, sometimes the interview, especially when it's like a junket where you're talking like, I don't know if you guys have done that this round, but sometimes I know that, like, when you guys do like a major production and it's like you'll have like 50 outlets in like an hour.
No,
I've seen that. So
no,
she's like, I've not got that yet. Well, when I interviewed Kevin Hart for another one of his shows, I think I might have had 4 minutes. So but still, see, in that instance though, because I don't have to ask, what are you wearing? I know how to take that 4 minutes, and I'll give you something. I'm gonna ask a question that's gonna make him go, what? So yeah, I know what to do with my time. So, but I love when I can talk to somebody for longer than that, at least 30 minutes. Give me 30 minutes. So, because forget about me. I want people to know who you are, right? And I want people to be able to walk away and say, like, well, that person never said that before in another interview. And sometimes, let me tell you something, and it's just little old me. But I've definitely seen, because I like to be a little bit out the box with questions. Like I said, not messy, but just try to keep things interesting.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen larger outlets where I'm like, well, they just lifted like 80% of my questions. And it was, and then I'll be like, and they didn't receive it the same way because it wasn't authentic. So you can't. Yeah.
True. And that's the thing. I think I'm just learning about this whole press thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm always like, 15 minutes? I'm like, what can they learn in that time? They're like, that's the time. I'm like, oh, okay.
And then you'll get different type of interviews, because sometimes too, you'll have people that are in front of you that are probably incredibly nervous because you don't realize like how much of a fan they may be of you. So they may not even know.
I'm just like,
you're like, why is she being weird? All right. Like, you good?
Right. Yeah. I'm just like, girl, no need to be nervous.
No, people get very nervous. I'm a little like you. Like, I have incredible audacity. Like, it doesn't matter who I'm in front of. I don't get nervous. Like, if my life's not in danger, well, even then, that's how crazy I am. Like, my life could be in danger, but if I can't change the circumstances, like, like, no, I'm not gonna. I was about to try to put myself, like, if I was in the heist scene. Oh, no, why would I even say that? So
I'm so glad I wasn't in the heist.
Exactly.
But the heist seemed so fun to shoot.
No, it looked like it was fun to shoot. Yeah.
I was like, they couldn't show up just like one time with the gun. Like,
no, I have to tell you my favorite character.
What?
Because he was so unhinged and really psychopathic, but very organized.
Miles?
No, well, he was good. Yeah, I liked Miles too. Miles was good. No, he was good. But he was unhinged. He definitely was unhinged. But not organized. So my other unhinged was Samuel L. Jackson when he played Frank.
So good.
Because he was ready to drop anybody. Like, he was just bottom line. This is the way it's going.
Oh, that's what I was going to tell you earlier. So that's why you have to stay present in this journey.
Yeah.
I worked with Sam before.
You did?
Yes.
Good.
Like, literally, I think a year before, I worked with him on Ptolemy Gray.
Okay.
It was a short scene, first episode. I mean, it was literally, maybe the scene was like 20 seconds.
Really?
And I was just so happy to work with him because I love Sam. I love his work.
Of course.
And I said, after I filmed it, I said, I'm going to work. Well, I should have been more detailed in my prayer, but that's okay. But
exactly. You
right,
said work with Sam, you know, you got to work with me just like I got to work with you. God looked at you like, well, girl.
okay. So I was just like, that's okay. Then I'm going to work with Sam again, and it's going to be in a bigger role. And
Look
then I
at
booked
you.
Fight Night.
Look
I
at
ain't
you.
get to work with him directly, but we on the same
You
show.
on the same. See, look, we don't know how many hours who been with who, whatever, but I do know the cast. I know the cast list, and I know that if they go to the Wikipedia, your name is on. By the way, you need to make your Wikipedia. You qualify. Wikipedia is so crazy because they are some neurotic. First of all, it's like a peer sort of. I don't know if you know how Wikipedia works, but it's like
that's what I'm like.
Yeah, and anybody can contribute to it, right? But it's like if you made a Wikipedia and people feel like you don't, you shouldn't have a Wikipedia, people will like shut it down, and you have to go through all these different review processes. But you absolutely qualify for a Wikipedia page with your resume and what you've done and everything. So just you should
Girl,
look into it.
you gotta stay in contact.
I'll stay in contact with it, and I'm saying this not in any kind of like money grab way. I'm just telling you this, like homegirl to homegirl, sister to sister, Libra to Libra.
Yeah.
Like these are things that you can put in place. And listen, I haven't seen a single thing that you've written down, but I'm pretty sure that you would know how to write a few paragraphs that are pretty compelling and interesting.
Or ChatGPT will.
So you ain't got the people will. This is a hustle. People will charge you for this, but I think that I have better ways to spend $1,000 than to do something that I know how to do, right? So yeah, don't let that escape you. But you should definitely, because something like this where people are starting to click on things and they're looking at this Wikipedia and you don't have that one thing, and like I said, it's peer reviewed, but it offers something to people where it's like, oh, this person's the real deal because they have this, so you know what it is, you know how people are. So
girl.
Yeah, just keep elevating the brand more and more. Oh, by the way, so when you get this role and everything, did you buy anything crazy or did you stay?
So yes,
let's be honest. Let's be for real here. Did you get a Chanel bag on us? What did you do?
I didn't get no Chanel bag. I did buy my first pair of designer heels. Like,
oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's always been like my one of my goals, one of my many business ventures that I'd like to break into is I'd like to actually have a designer shoe line one day.
Good. That's creative. Yes.
Yeah, so I did buy my first pair of designer hairs.
Good for you.
Yves Saint Laurent.
Good for you. Do they hurt?
They do.
Oh my goodness, girl. Let me tell you. I'm 5'10", so there's no utility for heels in my life. If I put on heels, I'm solidly like 6'3", 6'4". I don't need to be 6'4". It's fine. Like I'm cool. I like being tall, but I don't have to be 6'4".
Yeah. Well, I'm 5'4".
Oh.
So I need a little bit of more height.
You could. You're not short.
We thank God.
Well, yeah, short. I think short. Like I think the average height. Yeah, short. No, 4'11". At that point, you may even qualify for being a little person. I think, right at 4'11" or low. Yeah, 5'2". I think is like Nicki Minaj is 5'2". Wow. I think even some people are. Yeah, she's 5'2", but like 5'4" is like okay, you're not tall, and I think 5'6" is supposedly average height.
Apparently,
I think tall starts at 5'7".
Yeah, in our industry, it's so funny because like in the entertainment industry, most of us are short,
right?
Like, not
like Tom Cruise wears lifts.
Yeah, we're not above 5'7", and so like it just started being a thing now because back in the day, I think it'd be you may not get cast if you're so tall.
No, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, but now they're doing a lot where because guys are like 6 foot now. Like I think all the guys in the show.
Girl, David Banner got to be like 6'3" or something. That's a big dude.
They are tall.
Yeah, Terrence Howard is not short.
And Qua, Melvin, they're all like 6 something.
No, they're tall. I saw them. They are tall, and they're big guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, wow. The industry is changing. That's good. Exactly. Like, why are you discriminating people's height?
Exactly. Like, why y'all hating on tall people?
Yeah. Odd.
Oh Lord! But then look, there's certain things we don't see. Like of course, Kevin Hart uses it to his advantage, right? He's done a lot of things where he sort of plays on his height. But again, like with a Tom Cruise, like we don't know when they zoom that scene out. Like he might have on lifts like this while he's standing next to somebody.
Damn it, I didn't even think about that.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying. Because I think he might be. I don't even know how tall Tom Cruise is actually. I forget, but I just know that he's short.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's way shorter than he appears to be on TV for sure.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
think he's so short, but people were like, "Oh no, Tom is not tall," and I'm like, "Wow, really?"
It's weird in life though, just even with you saying that, like with me, I've always just been tall. So like I'm used to people being shorter than me. So it's not
Mhm.
unusual. It's just not unusual. So when I get around someone that's taller than me or as tall as me,
Yeah,
it's like, oh, she's tall. Like it's just kind of
yeah,
weird because I'm always the tallest person, like the tallest girl in the room.
yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah,
No,
that's my life, girl.
you like, you like,
It's what
girl,
we do over here.
you like, girl, no heels. I'm already
No,
here.
I don't do that. We in flats. And listen, I'll do design. Now, the girls have taught me, the girls, that I'm not supposed to wear kitten heels. So, okay, I'll leave it alone. I'm not gonna. They don't know. They would make fun of you. Like
Girl,
she
I'm a
she
cute
in kitten heels,
kitten,
right? No, they don't. They don't do kitten heels. They will clown you for
but
eternity.
they're in style.
Well, you try it. You let me know how that goes. You try.
I'm livable.
And then I have, and here's my here's the weird thing about me is I have very, very small feet. Like for my height,
Mhm.
it's kind like it's to the point that
Really?
like I didn't bind my feet. It's nothing weird happened. Like I just wear like an 8.5 in women. But again, when you're like 5'10", approaching 6 feet, that's a lot to see, So I've had perfect strangers say, like, is something wrong? Like, how do you walk on
Not is something
that?
wrong. Like, can you balance?
No, people ask, they're like, you're practically walking on your ankles. Like, what's happening here?
But you know what? It might be something because you're East African.
It could be. It could. I don't know. But my sisters are short, considering, and they have like normal size feet. I don't know why. One of my sisters is 5'6", and
Mhm.
she wears a bigger shoe than I do.
Mm.
Girl, I don't. It could be though, right? There could be.
Right. I don't know. I mean, eight and a half is a pretty average shoe. I get tired of people wearing that size.
No, that exactly. That's the first off the shelves. Like I cannot.
Girl,
Yeah,
gone.
like yeah. If you're looking for something, you say to yourself, like, I'm gonna splurge a little bit and get this one thing and whatever.
Not no eight.
8.5. I used to work at a shoe store when I was like 18, and that's exactly what happened. The 8.5 for girls and like the tens for guys, 9.5 tens for guys. First
Gone.
shoes out the door, gone. Yeah, we will all be struggling. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's nice because sometimes because that makes me a 7.5 in boys, sometimes even 7. So for instance, even the shoes that I have, that I wore today, those were
Mhm.
kids' shoes. So, I got some shoes on sale for like $30.
Girl, that's the best thing about being like the size where you can still wear the largest kid size.
Absolutely, yes, because a lot of the times I can. Not always. Sometimes I'm just outside of it, but
Mhm.
most of the time I can. So because
Yeah.
people are like, "What are you doing wearing chill?" Because a lot of times, because even back in the day, everybody would put themselves in small shoes trying to be cute. People wanted to be pigeon toed, bow legged, and small footed. I can't. It's a lot,
I'm just
it's a
thinking
lot
about
to do.
other bow-legged. I just can't believe not people wanted to be pigeon-toed and bow-legged.
Everything at once.
I am
It's
that
just
is
like
hilarious.
I'm watching you trying to like envision it. Like, wait, hold on.
Yeah, I'm like, that is so much.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I'm not bow-legged at all, thank God. My mom thinks it's the most beautiful thing in the world. I'm like, okay, girl.
No, no, and then Africans too. Africans love a gap tooth too.
Oh
That
yeah,
is
that's a
like
big it's
people,
an American thing for
yeah, to want to close it. Oh
accepted.
my God, the girl with the gap tooth, guys, anybody like they
But it's
are
beautiful.
absolutely
Like there's so many models that have it.
yes.
African models, yeah, and it's such a gorgeous look.
It's gorgeous. I love it. I love it. I love anything that I like seeing people in their present and standard features. Like the one thing that actually really upsets me like to my core is when I see a black person or any ethnic individual that gets like a nose job. That like it
Yeah.
hurts me.
You know what? I was thinking about that the other day, and I was just like, why would someone change their nose?
It
Like,
changes the entire structure of your face. You
yeah,
look
I'm
like a completely
like,
different person. Yep.
I don't know. I just think the black nose is
Yeah,
so cute.
absolutely.
It's just like I don't know why. I mean, I don't know.
Exactly. Like, right. Who are we to judge? I'm not going to tell you what to do with your life or your
Yeah.
body, but I'll just let people know. Well, I mean, I'm letting them know now rather that like I hate for someone to feel like the way that they were born. I understand certain cosmetic things. Like me, my teeth were trash. Like I had to get the braces. I'll just if you saw my teeth before I got braces, girl, you'd be like, oh my gosh, like did anybody love her? Like,
I'm a crying.
they were horrible. That's why I said, listen, y'all, I'm not gonna get no veneers. You're not shaving these down. I didn't put them through, I've been through everything with these teeth.
Yeah.
So unless they start falling out, I'm with them.
Okay. Okay. No, I'm with you on that. If my teeth start falling out, I'll have to.
We gotta do something.
Yeah. But as far as like getting veneers, I'm just like, no, because it kind of takes away from, with this art form.
Yes.
You're really trying to be a human. You're trying to be a regular human.
That's right.
A character. So you cannot perfect what quote unquote imperfections, because then you don't seem like a real person.
No, it's true. It's true. Like, that standard look, that cosmetic look. And we've seen that in beauty trends and cosmetic trends. And again, I'm not saying this, and I won't even necessarily get into specifics. I don't want to seem like I'm picking on people, but it does take away something from the individual to where it's like, well, now you just look like everybody else.
Yeah. And that's what I said. Like, I actually think this is so weird, and I hate mine. But I think under eye bags are just, I don't see them as ugly. Like,
no, I don't either. No, it's character. It shows,
it just feels like, okay, they're a regular person, especially like when they're African and they have African features.
Yeah.
To me, it's like a very beautiful look. I don't know. It's very weird. I don't even like my own under eye bags.
Isn't that funny how we may not like something in ourselves, but we love it in everybody else?
Yeah.
But I also think that I love the process of aging to me. Like, we should all be grateful that we live another year. So when people are trying to slow these processes down, I'm like, dude, like, to your point, like that character that it brings to your face, right? Being able to play that role and just show this, and it's like, isn't it not all Botoxed out where it's like you can't even like raise your eyebrows, exactly. So it's like, no, I love it. I love everything about, every year that you make it here, we should be forever grateful for that, right?
Okay. Listen, this is the conversation I'm having with my mom.
Yeah, of course.
She's like, I'm getting old. My smile lines, because we have the same smile lines. Girl.
Listen, it is what it is. I started getting like smile lines when I was like I might have been like 20.
Yeah.
It's just a feature. Like, it just is what it is. And listen, and I will smile from ear to ear. Okay. So
yeah, especially like having cheekbones. It's just
right.
It's like
you
really
can't, it's not, there's no avoiding it.
It is what it is,
It is what it is.
Like, yeah, they're here now, My mom's like, yeah, you need to Botox that. I'm like, girl.
No, because the thing is, when people get those procedures, it's like there is a sort of a stiff period in it. So you're going to look a little awkward in that period. And like, you don't even know what the freak could come up where you need to be seen. And you're just like,
that's what I'm saying. I'm just like, how if makeup doesn't fix it,
exactly,
not getting done.
Yeah, I'm not stressed. And it's also like, I'm not stressing myself out about something like that, but I'm also super, super hyper aware that once you start doing certain things, you'll feel very married to it. Like, I've got one of my friends that's in Hollywood right now, and a very, very good friend of mine. Like, he's like, and first of all, he's not overweight in the least. Like, there's no one would say it, but like, he's gotten into like a lipo and so I'm like, what are you eating? What are you doing? Like,
because I saw an interview and it said like, once you do once,
that's where it's at.
And I'm just like, no, not with me, with my addictive personality. I'm just gonna stick to what I already.
No, I know that about myself. I know that I can do things. I can even do positive things in excess. And I know that about myself. So I can do bad things in excess, but I can also I can hyper fixate on things. So knowing that about myself, I know that I am not the person that should venture into plastic surgery, because I don't know where I would take it when I feel like there's not.
I'll be like, you know what?
Right, exactly. So I'm gonna stay out of that water.
I'm good.
Exactly.
If makeup don't fix it, it ain't meant.
That's right. And it can. Listen, they done sit here and transform people into lions and tigers. What are we talking about? You can do anything. No, them special effects departments, you could take a few years off of me if you try.
And that's another thing that I'm enjoying. Like, I don't know if you've seen the show The Penguin. But
I
it's
haven't seen. You see, you got me on another one too. I gotta put that
girl,
one.
listen, I watch
The
so much
Penguin.
TV. I can give you a list. Like The Penguin, Presumed Innocent, Palm
Oh,
Royale. These are
mm,
all like my favorite shows. They're
okay.
all different, but they're all amazing. There's a little bit of everything in there.
So wouldn't it be funny if you get cast in one of your favorite shows?
Listen, that's why I keep telling people, I'm like, if you know someone working on these shows, tell Victoria Thomas, she's the casting director of most of these shows, actually. Oddly enough, like I'm like, wow, she casts every show that I like. The Last of Us. I'm like,
Oh,
girl,
that was good.
oh,
That was
hey
really good.
girl,
Hmm.
you know,
So so Victoria Thomas, you said, right? I'm gonna hashtag. I'm gonna be very strategic, and I'm gonna hashtag her in this video.
Victoria, call me, girl.
She's gonna be like, what? Like, she's gonna be like,
Who
look,
is this girl? She's like, who is that child? Girl, I'm
no.
your next big thing. Call me. Whatever. A sci-fi, suspense drama, anything, comedy, whatever,
She's like, I can do it all. Just cast
Yeah,
me, girl.
like I would like to do, I would like to have a career where I do where I'm not put in a box. I love
Yeah.
Robin Williams because
Oh, I loved Robin
yeah,
Williams.
he
Yeah.
he was considered a character actor, which is what I would like to
Yes.
be,
Mm,
someone who can morph into different genres and
that's right.
and be completely different. I
Hmm.
don't want to be like a person who just I don't want to play the same role because I easily get bored, honestly.
Oh
That's
no,
one.
sure, but and it's a blessing to work, right? Like we want
Yeah.
that, but then there are some people that they are so tied to a certain role where no one sees them outside of that role, and they have to like fight
Yeah.
to get out of it. But that's what Halle Berry had to do because she was
Yeah.
constantly being cast in like the pretty girl roles. She was like, I mean, I'm more than a face. She was like, I can, let me show you guys that I can do this,
Yeah.
and that's but she had to fight. She had to
That's
fight to be taken seriously.
how
Hmm.
it's like I don't know what it is about Hollywood. It's like once they're like, you can only be one kind of human.
That's yeah. Hmm.
And this is the human we've decided you are, and that's what you're
And
gonna be
that's it.
for your
Hmm.
life. It's just like, dang, like I'm a full-fledged, like I love characters that are like really dynamic, like they have like I love an evil character that has a sincere side.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess that would be kind of like I don't know. I haven't seen the new Joker, but I think that that's sort of describes like a Joker, where somebody where you kind of see the origin story to the person, so you understand why
Yeah.
they are the way that they are. Yeah. So maybe even if you aren't rooting for them, you kind of get it.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
honestly why I'm able to be empathetic to just anyone. Like I can watch anything and be empathetic towards the person because I know that life can be hard and maybe you weren't loved and
That's
all
right.
things, like we have to have more empathy for people and just
Have you watched Succession
no,
on
but I've
HBO?
seen a few of the episodes. It's a very good series.
It's a very good series, and it's a perfect example of what you're talking about because you absolutely can watch. It's excellent writing, excellent acting. But it's even where you pay attention. Like this is something where it's like you kind of have to just watch. Like you have to. It's not something that you lazy watch, but it's compelling. So you're
Yeah.
drawn into it. But it's a perfect example of a show where it's like there are so many. Like there's kind of like even the kids are terrible people. Like I'm talking about children even. Like there's
Yeah.
some really bad people, right? That's
Yeah.
how good the acting is that but you see why certain people turned, why they became that way. So you can have the empathy to understand the character, but you also realize that you sort of take yourself out of it, like, well, the person was still really kind of crappy. Like, so,
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
know, I
Yeah.
feel bad for you, but
But also,
exactly. Yeah, 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 yeah.
but that's why you have to like, that's why you have to be careful how you react to things.
Yeah, yeah. And they talk about reactionary abuse all the time, right? Because when the
Mhm.
way we react to negative stimuli, then it's gonna be like, oh, Audrey's crazy, she ain't something wrong with
Yeah.
her. But it's like, but did you see that these people
No,
were like,
I never see that part.
you didn't see that part when they was coming down her throat, like and
Yeah.
acting like coming for her neck like crazy. You didn't
Yeah.
see that part, yeah.
You have to be careful. And then on the other side, people need to have more empathy.
That's right.
So it's like, two-way street.
Yeah. I mean, we know, and that, I mean, on the one hand, as you were saying earlier, we don't need to know too much about anybody, right? Once you start letting people in, they start deciding what they, sometimes people like
Scary.
they think that they're operating in your best interest, and then they just do too much. So you don't, you kind of have to be very deliberate with how much you share with other individuals. But you know, if you don't know what people have been through, you have to have that ability to at least be empathic enough to know that, like, listen, we've all gone through all types of things, you know. So if it's not directed towards me, let me not internalize it. Or even if it is directed towards me, I think that 99% of the time, like, bad actors or people that act really, really terribly in a lot of situations, even if it's towards you, it's not personal. Like,
Yeah.
if their temperament is just sour, that's just it's coming from a place. It's
Yeah.
not because of you.
Yeah. Like there's this book, The Four Agreements.
Oh, I
Um,
remember that book. I it's a long time since I read it, but I remember that book.
so good.
Mhm.
But it does talk about like don't take anything personal.
No, you just can't.
Such a beautiful way to live life if you don't take things, because a lot of the things that people do have nothing to do with you.
No, they don't. No, you see it, and it's also like, for instance, like I'm not an argumentative individual. I'm not
Mhm.
going to sit here and go back and forth with anybody. Like, whatever resolve we need to come to, it can probably be worked out. And if it can't, and if it comes to someone where somebody's elevating, you know, their voice, and I realize that they just have like a really, really like low emotional maturity, as I would, you know, probably put it. You realize again that that's a coping. That's something that they have difficulty with because there's something else going on with that
Yeah.
individual. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's not me. I'm not making them yell. I'm not making them escalate. I'm not making this happen. And you know
Yeah.
what's funny is I learned a lot of those of those coping skills, or just like dealing with abuses and so forth, from working in retail.
Wow.
No, think about those Trader Joe's days, and think about the obnoxious person that's running up to you like you owe them the world because you don't know what aisle something's in, or you taking a few seconds to just sort of figure out something for them, and they're acting like, you know, like you're an enemy. And it's just like, dude, all of this for that? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But
Like
but 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 you can't snap in the moment, but it teaches you.
and it teaches you not to be that way.
Yeah,
Like
of
I
course.
always apologize to people like when I'm upset about a situation
Sure.
and I'm a little passionate and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I'm not upset with you. I'm just upset
Of
with
course.
because I don't know why this is happening to me. You know,
Hmm.
because I know that it's just like, yeah, like don't take it out on me, you
Right.
know,
No,
for
listen,
whatever.
if you walk into, I don't know, you walk into the electric company, let's just say, you know, of course, we're bill paying online and everything now, but let's just say your bill was $500. You're not going to be the happiest camper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that person will know that if you screaming and shouting or carrying on, not you, but, you know, from somebody's carrying on like that, I would have the empathy to know, like, listen, let me let her vent. Because if my bill was $500, I would not be having the best day either. Like, where are we going with
Absolutely.
this? Yes. So,
Absolutely.
well, girl, it has been lovely. No, I could talk to you all day long, you
I
know.
know, right?
I really could. No, it's been lovely talking to you. And I'm so glad I met you. And now because I will remember, like you said, you have to speak the right things into existence. When
Amen.
I see you again, I will definitely say something. And I'm be like, Artrece girl. So,
I'm gonna be
you know,
like, hey
I'll be
girl.
like, let's go to Applebee's real quick.
Okay, period. Actually, you know what? Next time I'm in New York, have you been to Tatiana's?
Oh, that's the restaurant's a fusion. I know the restaurant you're talking about. I saw it
Fusion
featured.
Jamaican or something like
It's
that.
it's a fusion of, like, yeah, isn't it like African and Jamaican or something, or
Girl,
Caribbean, or
it's
no,
amazing.
I heard it's amazing, but I heard it's very, very hard to book.
So wait, don't put this in the interview, but
I
what you
will.
gotta do is you gotta show up right when they open at 5 and you gotta go right to the bar.
Oh, okay. See, I do that for places like, yo, that's funny you said that. Because a lot of times people are looking for tables, but like me, I'll dine alone all day, girl. Or I'll like go with one of my homegirls. And you're
Mhm.
right. If you're willing to sit at the bar and you don't need no table experience, you'll get
That's
in anywhere you want to go.
that's what
Absolutely. That's what you know. You're right. You're right about that. Because everybody's like, it's impossible. And I've been waiting for months. And I'm like, oh wow. But I just literally saw a feature last week and I was like, I need to eat that. My friend was like, oh yeah, it's excellent. I have been there. I'm like,
that
oh,
I've heard great things, and I'm just
yeah.
next time I'm in New York, I have to go there.
And I believe the head chef, is a woman too, which is cool.
Yeah, probably. I don't even know. I
Yeah.
just know it's good.
Exactly. I just tried some good food.
Okay, girl, I love food. I'm so excited to go back to New York and try it because I'm
Oh
like,
yes. You know what? I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna hit you
yeah,
up and send you my information. And if or the next time you're in New York, or if I just even see that you happen to be in New York, I'll just send you a note, girl. You know,
Yes,
and we'll try. I know you're busy now.
LA.
Okay.
And LA.
Yeah, when I'm in LA at least a couple times a year at least. So I'll hit you up because that'd just be great time.
I miss New York a little.
Oh well, New York right now is material as well. I'll tell you that much. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, girl. No, and
You're like, no.
And no. And I spend a significant amount of my time in Harlem, and Harlem has become like I've seen some wild stuff now. Especially like I don't know how familiar you are with Harlem, but the East Side was always a lot, but now it's even worse. Like with the opioid crisis, because it was one thing when like when I was a kid and it was like crackheads. Now it's like you got like people on all kinds of stuff, and they're like nodding out and all kinds of stuff all over. And I mean, it's like, and it's kids. It's kids. It's not, and and there's certain sort of places, like there's certain parts of Brooklyn, like off of Broadway, the East Side, Jamaica, Queens. Like there's just certain parts where it's like it's a proliferation of like that stuff. And I'm like, yo, this kid's not even graduated high school. Like, how is he on this? This is something that I'm just seeing like old folks doing. Shouldn't be anybody at all, but we're here we are. Well, on that note, let me wrap this up a little bit. Let me edit that all out. Okay, well.
I'm a crying.
Yikes, you guys missed a lot just there. Okay. Once again, my name is Koku with blackfilm.com, and I was here with Artrece Johnson, the lovely Artrece Johnson. And she's the star of the hit Peacock series Fight Night, The $1 Million Heist, which is streaming on Peacock now with the season finale airing on October 10th. Artrece, thank you so much for your time. It was so nice to meet you, and it was just such a lovely conversation. And girl, I mean, this was like a podcast or something. This is a conversation for the ages.
Period. Yeah.
There we go.
Listen, I was so happy to talk to you. I'm so honored. Thank you.
I am very honored, and you just brought so much joy and so much to reflect on. Like there's a lot for me to ruminate on just based on what you said. Like so, I'm just happy to have been able to receive this moment and to be able to that we were able to connect, and that that the scheduling and the timing was all there, because it's transformed even the energy of a mindset, right? Because you were just like, listen, I can't change some of the things that have happened, but what I can do is be present and move forward and be intentional. That's the simplest message. I'm with you on that, girl. So thank you so much, Artrece, and just continue, like with your journey, like just continued success. Don't we all want to see her win? Yes.
Okay.
She's like, I'm trying to buy some more of them expensive shoes.
and I am, okay? Open some more businesses too.
So, there you go. So hilarious. Thank you so much for your time. You've been so nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, girl.
Bye.
If you want to see more content like this on blackfilm.com, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell.